Hey everybody, I'm in a 1978 SEAB Flipper. Welcome to Jason Drives. Right now I'm driving a 1978 SEAB Flipper. And the Flipper is interesting because it's one of those French sans-permis cars. Sans-permis, of course, means, no license needed. You could have 30 DUIs, be 7 years old, mostly blind, and you could still buy and drive a sans-permis car. But the Flipper is interesting because it's not content to be just another little sans-permis car. They needed some other angle for it that made it compelling. And that's where the Flipper name comes in, because what this car can do, the entire drivetrain in the front is on a pivot. It can go 360 degrees. So for example, in a turn like this you'd think you wouldn't be able to make in most any car, I can just crank the wheel and I'm pointing the entire drivetrain in any direction. So what of course makes the SEAB Flipper so amazing is the 360 degree pivoting engine, which you really need to come see. Down here, you've got a little two-stroke, one-cylinder air-cooled engine. It's probably about 49 cc's, maybe makes 5 horsepower or whatever. The exhaust is right here, and it spews clouds of exhaust everywhere. But the real exciting part is this thing right here. So you can see there's the electrical lines coming from the car, the fuel line coming from the fuel tank, which is just gravity fed. It goes into here. This is the crazy pivot thing that allows the entire engine to turn around. If I turn the wheel, the whole engine pivots. If you want to go backwards, you just flip it all the way around. It's nuts. It's not like driving anything else. All right, so according to the post-it note on the dash, 5 turns to reverse. So, all right, I'm down there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now when I hit the throttle, I should go backwards. It works. I don't know that that's easier than any kind of normal shifting. It's weird. It doesn't feel like regular steering because you're moving everything, the whole engine and everything. It's like you're in a tiny kind of horse carriage. Like it's being pulled by an animal. Like say you've got a steroided out gopher under the hood and you've got him trapped by a clamp and this is on his back and you're just guiding his direction. It's fun looking at how this thing is put together as well because it's about as cheap as you could possibly make a car. The windows are interesting in this weird half sandwich style diagonal flip up business. And then there's a little bench seat. I guess you could put 2 people in here if you were very, very close to one another. And there's even some surprisingly deep storage right here in the dash. Like if you were using it inside a city, it's just barely usable and it weighs almost nothing. And like all sans-permis cars, it has a pedal in case you want to actually just use your foot to move it, which of course does not work very well. People bought these. That's the amazing thing to think about. French people bought this thing to go to work on a daily basis. Hundreds of these were sold, maybe thousands. I like this thing. I don't even know if it's a bad idea. It's just a weird idea that works in one very specific context. It's kind of like if there was like a heist movie that you were casting with cars, and you had all kinds of fast cars and rough outdoor 4x4s and utility cars. This would be the kind of comic relief character that nobody takes seriously until that one weird situation comes up where they have to break into the casino's vault and there's a turn that's a 90-degree turn and the SEAB Flipper is the only one can do it. So if they're planning on recasting, say like Ocean's 11 with cars, I think there's a place in it for the SEAB Flipper. You know, after driving the SEAB Flipper around, I think the big takeaway from here is do not think of it as a car. Think of it as one weird mechanical idea with a car kind of half-assedly built around it. The one thing this car does, it probably does better than any other car in the world. In almost every other criteria, though, it's not even close. Ah, damn. Let's do some donuts. Whoa. That's probably plenty fast.